So it's a very nice, wonderful verse from Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, verse 8 to 12. It's a lot of qualities which one should imbibe in their lives. So let us recite this verse. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam chaucham स्थैर्यम् आत्मविनिग्रहः इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कार एव च जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिर अव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानम् यदतोऽन्यथा. So the translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be, is ignorance. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So it's a beautiful verse. We can learn a lot of things from this verse. See, the connection which we have with this previous chapter is 12th chapter and the current 13th chapter, no? Is the introduction to Jnana section. See, in chapters 6 to 12, Krishna is concluding his description of the Bhakti Yoga. Okay. And in chapter 13 to 18, he describes Jnana Yoga. Now, one may ask the question, if Bhakti is the culmination of the Yoga ladder, then why is Jnana presented after the section on Bhakti? So, understanding this connection between the Bhakti section and the Jnana section, it will help us reveal the reason. What is the reason? So, in text 12th chapter, 7th verse, Krishna promised to save his devotees from the path of birth and death. So the chapters 13 to 18, it fulfills this promise by supplying the philosophical knowledge necessary to extricate oneself from material entanglement. So we call this section the Jnana section. But in truth, the entire Bhagavad Gita is Bhakti. See, the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita discuss how to achieve Bhakti through one's work, that is Karma Yoga. The last 6 chapters, that is 13 to 18, discuss how to achieve Bhakti through knowledge. And the middle 6 chapters, 7 to 12, discuss Bhakti itself. So Jnana, it has got its use in assisting our detachment from Maya and our subsequent attachment to Krishna. Okay. See, without the touch of Bhakti, both Karma and Jnana are useless. So this is another reason why the discussion of Bhakti comes in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, where it can remain in contact with both Karma and Jnana. And thus it will lend some value to all of us. See, in this chapter, the first and second verse, Arjuna said, "Oh, my dear Krishna, I wish to know about what all things he wanted to know. Prakriti, that is nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, field, knower of the field of knowledge and object of knowledge. So Krishna replied, he said, this body, O son of Kunti, is called the field. And one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. So in this, from verse number 1 to 7, Arjuna asks 6 questions. And Krishna explains the field of activities and the knower of the field. And from 8 to 12, that's what we are going to do. Krishna explains the process of knowledge and liberation. So Krishna addresses the 5th question here. This is the answer of it. So this verse number 13.8 to 12, this 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 verses, it enlightens us on what real knowledge is. What is real knowledge? Amanitvam matam vikvam ahimsa kshanti rajyam, right? Like that. So really, these 5 shlokas actually gives 18 points to cultivate knowledge. And those 18 points are very beautifully described in Ishopanishad, the 10th verse purport. If you go to Ishopanishad, of the 10th verse, in that purport, these 18 points is referred to, the reference of this 13.8 to 12, this is given. So all these points are discussed there also. So with the help of that, we can understand this translation. So from the equivalence, let us see what are the 18 qualities, right? The first line, amanitvam, that is humility. Then adambitvam, pridelessness. Ahimsa, non-violence. Kshantihi, tolerance. And arjavam, simplicity. So this is the first line. So there are 5 qualities in the first line, right? Now we go to the second line. Acharya upasanam, approaching a bona fide spiritual master. This is the 6th quality. Then shaucham, cleanliness. Sthiryam, steadfastness. Atma vinigraha, self-control. So in the second line, we have 4 qualities. So we have seen 9 qualities in 2 lines. 5 in the first, 4 in the second. Third line, there are 2 more qualities. Indriya arteshu, that is the matter of senses. Then vairagyam, renunciation. Anahankara, being without false egoism. Eva, certainly, cha also. So 5 plus 4 plus 2 in this one, that is 11 qualities. Indriya arteshu, in the matter of sense, right? Vairagyam, then without false egoism. These 2, anahankara. So 5 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the third, that is 11 qualities we have now. Fourth line has 1 quality only. So Janma, that is of birth, Mrityu, death, Jara, old age, Vyadi and disease, Dukkha of the distress, Dukkha, then Dosha, the fault. Then Anudarshanam, observing, witnessing. So this is one of the qualities. So to cultivate the knowledge, you must always meditate on the miseries involved in Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. That is birth, death, old age. So this is this observing, meditation. This is also one of the. So we have, so see, very well know that these 4 things, right, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, they are the permanent settlements for conditioned living entities like us. So better always meditate on that so that we will not be unnecessarily attracted to the nonsensical activities, right? See, we saw that those who are sentenced to death, they don't have any other thing. They don't have any other than what the Lord wishes, right? They can't do anything else. Whatever what that has to be done. So with this line, we have seen the 12 qualities, right? So next line, asakti, being without attachment. Anibhishyangaha, being without association. So these 2 qualities are there in this next line. So 14 qualities. Then we go to 6th line. Nityam, constant, cha also. So samachittatvam, equilibrium. So in this one quality, that is equilibrium. So there is only one quality. That is in desirable or undesirable circumstance, we should have equilibrium. So one thing is that we should have full faith in the arrangement of Krishna. So we should never be disturbed whether circumstances are very favorable or not. So now we have equilibrium. That is 15 qualities now, right? And then the next line you got avyabhicharini. That is without any break. So this is the 16th quality. Then we go to To solitary desha places, sevitum, aspiring, arati, being without attachment. This is another one more quality, being without attachment. So we have 17 qualities now. And then Adhyatma pertaining to the self, Jnana in knowledge, Nityatvam constancy, Tattva Jnana of knowledge, the truth, Artha for the object, Darshanam philosophy. Etat all this, Jnanam knowledge, Iti thus, Proktam declared, Arjanam, Ajnanam, sorry, ignorance. Yet that which other from this, Anyata other. That means finally pertaining to the self in knowledge. So these are the 18 qualities regarding knowledge. And Prabhupada and Krishna says, whatever else is there apart from these 18 is ignorance. So this is very nicely described in Ishra purport, 10th verse. So we saw humility, breadlessness, all these 18 verse. See, actually these 18 points, what we can do is practically how it applies, we can list out all these in one line, right? Humility, breadlessness, non-violence. Then you can the second, what is the meaning of these things, and then how to put it in practice, the third column. So 3 columns we can put and develop ourselves, right? And every day we can see whether are we in the process of developing that particular quality. You can take any one of them, you can list out everything, and one of them you can try it. For example, tolerance, very important. How much we are tolerating. So many difficulties are there, right? So we may think we are tolerating this Prabhuji, this Mata is, I'm tolerating this fellow, that fellow, everybody. But how much the others are tolerating us, we don't know. So how to develop this? The non-violence. See, violence doesn't mean physically and all these things. Even by speaking, we hurt somebody, right? We cut across just by speaking harsh words, right? That is also violence. But how to stop that? So how to be non-violent even while speaking? That is the austerity of speech is there in Bhagavad Gita, right? How to be non speaking is very pleasant, right? Not to agitate others. So like that we can develop all these qualities, 18 beautiful qualities. We can list it out into 2, 3 columns, and then maybe you can refer certain verses which are describing how to go about these things. Maybe some stories about this. You can have in fact, the 13.8 to 12 verse can be a basis for our preaching also. You can make wonderful lessons, keep it ready with us, and speak, and maybe call people home and discuss, right? See, Prabhupada, see, our movement is actually preaching movement, Krishna conscious. And it's really wonderful to see that this preaching spirit is imbibed by almost all the souls who come in touch with Krishna. And especially when we read Prabhupada's purport, we cannot keep quiet. You have to speak to others. That is the beauty. In fact, to read Srila Prabhupada's books and not to preach is almost impossible. It's not possible at all. Everybody does this preaching in different ways. Okay, according to their potencies and capabilities. For those who are cooking for the program, cleaning, calling devotees, right, writing articles, arranging programs, they're all part of this preaching service. Just recently we said this Janmashtami, right? How many people were involved? Okay, and so many people there to control. So arrange so beautifully and get this Janmashtami festival going very well. Then the Rath Yatra was there before. So during this process, we sometimes develop a conception or rather a misconception that any person other than our own family is a devotee to whom we should be preaching. Understood the point? We think that anybody excepting our family is, is a devotee to whom we should preach. So we should spend so much of our time and energy outside home. That's what we feel. Dedicating ourselves to others. And we conveniently forget our responsibility towards our family. In fact, that is a prescribed duty. Bhagavatam says prescribed duty. I think 3rd country to 29th chapter, I think verse number 25, I think it's it strongly stresses, right? And in fact, our responsibility towards family, what is that? It is very beautifully given in Bhagavatam 5:18. Guru na sasyat, swajano na sasyat, pita na sasyaj, janani na sasyat, daivam na tatsyan, na padishcha sasyan, namo chayedya samopeta mrityum. It says, very powerful, one who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod. Srila Prabhupada gives a wonderful purport with strong words, and which we should instigate everyone to think seriously on this matter. He says, first, the father, spiritual master or husband, must be able to release the dependent from repeated birth and death. That means we have to give Krishna consciousness. So if he cannot do this, he plunges himself into the ocean of this Prabhupada says reproachment for his unlawful activities. See, everyone should be very responsible and take care of his dependents. Just as a spiritual master takes charge of his disciple or a father takes charge of his son. All these responsibilities cannot be discharged honestly unless one can save the dependent from repeated birth and death. Very important. So this statement comes as a big slap, right, on all our misconceptions, right? So when a father gives his son a good material education and gets his daughter married, arranges good insurance plan for his wife and family, we say that the person has fulfilled all his responsibilities and he has led a successful life. So as a husband, father, mother, teacher, father-in-law, mother-in-law, any superior relative, we always demand, and accept the worship from an inferior relative. But we never ask within ourselves the question as to whether I play my part in discharging the responsibility of trying to save the dependent from repeated birth and death. How? By engaging them in the devotional service of Krishna. See, before I do this, I should first of all strengthen my devotional service, right? By doing regular sadhana, nityam bhagavad sevya, and internal work. So by preaching to others, we begin to think that I'm better than those to whom I am preaching. And thereby what happens? We lose our devotional focus. But rather, we should understand that the preaching is first meant for ourselves and our purification, and thus carry out the service in a humble mood. See, we all know the saying, charity begins at home. So Prabhupada gives the best process for making the home pleasant. That's why in the purport, Prabhupada, this 3.18, 13.18 to 12, Prabhupada says that if one is in full Krishna consciousness, he can make his home very happy. Because this process of Krishna consciousness is very easy. He gives four principles, just four principles, 4-point program. One, the family members can sit down morning and evening and chant together Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. This is the first point. Second, accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Offer Bhoga, take it as prasadam. First is chanting together, then accept and take it as prasadam. Third one, have some discussion on books like Bhagavad-gītā and Srimad Bhagavatam, and also some small books of Srila Prabhupada. And four, engage oneself in deity worship. 4 points, 4-point program. See, in the present fast-paced life, where we spend so much time to fulfill our economic necessities, we hardly find any time to be spent with the family. And in the midst of our jobs and the spiritual programs, we should not forget to spend quality time, especially with our children, and try to teach them the glories of devotional service and engage them in some seva. See, children are growing very fast, being busy with the mundane education. And the time will soon come when they will have to live away from us, right, for higher studies or for their job. So at that time, we become old. And at that time, when we are supposed to be free of all attachments, we crave to be with our children because we become dependent upon them. So this stresses it is the importance of giving a good Krishna conscious foundation to the children. Very important. So we should try our best to mold our family life according to these principles in this verse. And if the family members do not cooperate, we should carry on with our devotional service. And just by seeing us, they will get attracted to this process. And if this also doesn't happen, right? If this also doesn't happen, I remember my Guru Maharaj's words. He said, anyone else changes or not, you change yourself. Have pity on yourself and with your soul at least. Don't allow it to wander into different bodies and planets. That's a very wonderful statement he gave. So in this verse 13.8 to 12, Krishna declares what is knowledge and what is ignorance. And Prabhupada has given a very wonderful and practical purport with reference to actually in this, with reference to detachment he has given. What does he speak about? There's so many qualities. One of them is detachment. There, you see, the best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada, he says, if one is in full Krishna consciousness, he can make his home very happy because this process of Krishna consciousness is very easy. So, what are the 4 points we said? One, one need only chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare. Bring the family together every day in the morning and evening. This morning is not possible because busy in school, college, everything. At least evening, be together, chant one round Hare Krishna mantra. Then offer bhoga and take it as prasad. Second point. Third, just take one verse from Bhagavad Gita and just discuss among yourselves. It will take hardly 15-20 minutes. Just read the verse, word to word meaning, translation, purport, and you can discuss some practical points. And in fact, you can once in a week or once in a month, whatever it is, can call your neighbors or friends or something. Same thing, you can sit together, chant one round, offer bhoga and prasadam, have some discussion on the verse, engage in oneself, have some kirtan. So this will make one very happy, definitely. Very simple. It's nothing. So we have birthday parties, so many other parties, right? Have this Krishna party. One should train the members of the family in this way, right? So if one can mold this family, there is. Prabhupada says if one can mold his family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, following these 4 principles, then there is no need to change from family life to renounced life. And in sannyasa, it's not possible in this Kali Yuga. But still, if it's not congenial, not favorable for spiritual advancement, then Prabhupada says then family life should be abandoned. One must sacrifice everything to realize or serve Krishna, just as Arjuna did. See, Arjuna did not want to kill his family members. But when he understood that these family members were impediments to his Krishna realization, he accepted the instruction of Krishna and fought and killed them. See, in all cases, one should be detached from the happiness and distress of family life. Because in this world, one can never be fully happy or fully miserable. Happiness and distress, they are concomitant factors of material life. One should learn to tolerate as advised in Bhagavad Gita. See, one can never restrict the coming and going of happiness and distress. So, one should be detached from the materialistic way of life and be automatically equipoised in both cases. So, Prabhupada is written in the purport that if family life is not congenial, not favorable spiritual advancement, then family life should be abandoned. On the contrary, what we find now is that people abandon Krishna consciousness rather than accepting the 4 point program and training the family members in the Krishna consciousness. He gave this powerful statement so that at least we come to Krishna consciousness. So the family motto should be the best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. So very wonderful statements. So these are the four-point program. Never forget this. This 4 point program is very useful. Just understand these things, write it down and do this. One, what was the 4 point program? Very beautifully given, right? Family members or anybody, right? Actually, we start with family, right? Family members can sit down morning and evening, chant together. Chant together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Have some discussion on books like Bhagavad-gītā, Srimad Bhagavatam. Take one verse and recite, or recite, trying to memorize the verses, right? Because memory is short, right? But memorizing this transcendental vibration, your memory becomes more sharp. And in old age also, your memory will not go down. That is the power of this transcendental vibration. Reciting the slokas and trying to memorize. One may ask, Prabhu, my child, they are very powerful. Their memory is very sharp. Quickly they learn the memorize slokas. For me, it's difficult. My memory is. But if you see, you're not underestimating your own memory. For example, if you give some money to somebody, a loan, you will never forget in your entire life. You'll always remember how much you gave, when did you go, how much to get back. So it's just an excuse that we have to memorize the verses. So this is also a very powerful point. We can definitely do it, each one, any age, what doesn't matter. So that is the second discussion. Third is having prasadam, offering bhoga to Krishna and taking it prasadam and engaging in a deity worship. If it doesn't have a deity, in photo doesn't matter. Every day getting up for the Mangalarti, doing Mangalarti, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, right? All these beautiful, these 4 programs. This is the basic foundation for Krishna consciousness. And then the motto that we have to always remember. What is the motto? The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. Don't worry, just start from today. This Ekadashi, all the auspicious day, you can just start. Just a beginning. So immediately, everybody may not come, but start. You see the change in your life. Hare Krishna, Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavad-gītā ki Jai Shri Prabhupada. Mancha kalpatarubhach kripa sandhu patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnava. Thank you very much, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. If you have questions or anything, any point you felt is useful, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.